Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jennifer Fun. I am the Regional Director of the Baltimore region of the Maryland Small Business Development Center. The Maryland Small Business Development Center is a statewide agency. We are located in every county in the state of Maryland. And furthermore, we are also part of a national organization. So every state within the union and also the territories, there's always a Maryland small business, well, an American Small Business Development Center available to assist you. I'm still letting people in, but I'm going to get ready to get started. Today, I was asked to talk about starting a small business. So I'm going to share my screen. And now we're going to get started. So again, this is a virtual event. I am working from home. I do have dogs. Can everyone hear me? Can you just put it in the chat if everything is, if you can hear me clearly? Great. Thank you very much.
We can hear you clearly.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay, so again, we're going to talk this afternoon about starting a small business in the state of Maryland. Okay, so again, I'm the Regional Director of the Baltimore City, Baltimore County region of the Maryland Small Business Development Center. So we're all here today because you have an idea. Either you have an idea as a pre-venture or you've started to work on your idea to develop a business and eventually grow your business. So there are a few things that you should ask yourself as you get started. This idea you have, is somebody willing to pay for the service or the product? Who's going to be your customers? How are you going to provide this service? And is this product or service marketable? Those are some of the things before you even put pencil to paper. These are the things that you need to think about. So the first step is to do your research. The Maryland Small Business Development Center has what's called a clearinghouse. If you have an idea for your business, let one of our consultants know. We can provide research services for you for free. Those services would include a sample business plan, sample financial projections. All of these things would be based on the zip code that you're interested in opening your business. But the important thing is we also tell you who your competitors are. And we'll talk more about your competitors and how important that information is as we go further along into our webinar. The U.S. Census also provides you with information that can assist you in growing your business. You know, a lot of times when we think about the census, we think about they're just trying to find out who lives at the address. Well, they also collect information as it relates to businesses. And again, that information is free and you can find it on their website. Also, use Google as your best friend. It can also give you information about industry standards and other important information as you're trying to research the business that you're interested in launching. So what you want to also do is do some research about what clients, your potential clients, potential customers will be looking for online. What type of businesses are they looking for? And when they find that type of business, what are the services that they're looking for? All of that is available to you at the tips of your finger, and Google may also be able to assist you. Now, the important thing is about your competitors, find out what they're doing. Find out how much they're charging for the similar service that you're planning on offering. Find out what their services are. This way, you'll be able to find your niche. What's going to make you different from your competitor? How are you going to stand out from them? Also, you want to make sure that your pricing is in line. You want to make sure that they're not offering another service that you could offer, but that a potential client or customer may be looking for. Find your niche. So ask potential customers for their views. Everybody is a critic, but a lot of times some people have some good ideas. Talk to potential customers, talk to your neighbors, talk to family members, your colleagues. Let them know that you're interested in starting this business and see what their ideas are. They may have a very good one. Think about your brand. What do you want people to think, feel, and say about your business? That is your brand. Of course, you definitely want them to be wowed. You want them to be thrilled. You want them to be happy. And most important, you want them to be satisfied with your service. When you go out to a restaurant and get bad service, I would ask, how many people do you think are told if you have bad service? You can put it in the chat. How many people, if you go to a bad restaurant, how many people do you tell, or any type of business, that you had bad service? I'm looking for some information in the chat. How many people do you think are told when you get bad service? Okay, no one put it in the chat. Well, the average is about 15 people. And if you get good service, you may only tell 2. So it's really important to provide good service. So now you're getting ready to launch your business. Again, we're launching our business because we're going to find our niche. What makes us stand out from our competitor? So the first thing you want to do is build your support team. Being an entrepreneur can be a very lonely place, but you need to make sure you have all of your pieces in line that's going to make your launch successful. So you might want to start out with your personal life, with your family, your friends. If you're a parent, you want to make sure you have your child care lined up. You don't want to have a meeting scheduled and you have to tell them you have to cancel a meeting because you have to pick up your child from school. That isn't, both things are equally important. So you want to make sure you have that base covered. Maybe your time is so busy that you don't have time to cut your grass, clean your house, do your laundry the way you used to. Take a look at maybe having some type of support service lined up. Now, your banker, your CPA, and your insurance agent should be your best friends, because when you go into business, you're going to need to be able to access capital. You're going to need to manage your business bank accounts. So you want to talk to your banker and make sure that they know what you're trying to do and that they provide you with the services that you're paying for through your bank fees, to make sure that you're handling your financial portion of your business responsibly and accurately. Now, your CPA is also very important to you. You want to look for a CPA because the CPA is going to be able to tell you about when your taxes are due. They're going to manage your books that are important if you need to ask for financing. They are the ones that's going to keep your finances in check. Your insurance agent is a person that's going to protect your liability. They're going to make sure that you have enough insurance to cover your business, that you don't have to worry about being sued. You'll still worry about it, but you want to make sure that you're covered. Also, your attorney. We're going to talk more about the reason that you need an attorney and the legal services that are required, that you will want to have an attorney to make sure that you are protected. And if you're able to find a mentor, that's even better. Mentors are really important. Someone that's already walked the walk, someone that can teach you things that you have not been able to learn in a book. A mentor will help lend to the success of your business. They'll be able to make referrals to you. And again, they'll be able to talk to you and teach you things that you cannot learn. So we are just talking about the benefits of a mentor. They will provide you with guidance and assistance. You know, one thing that I failed to share with you all is that I was a client of the SBDC. I started out as a business owner and reached out to the Maryland Small Business Development Center to assist me in my entrepreneurial endeavor. I owned a restaurant and I operated the restaurant for 7 years and I closed it during the recession. I don't feel bad about closing the restaurant because I closed it successfully, correctly, and it was able to keep my shirt on my back. But I would not have been able to do that without the assistance of my mentor. My mentor was a former restaurant owner. He had been in the business for 50 years. So, you know, if he was able to open, maintain, and sustain a restaurant for 50 years, he had a lot to teach me. So they will help you build authority. They will help you reach new customers. They'll give you leads for sales, and you will gain credibility by working with an established business. So I strongly suggest you trying to find a mentor. There's an organization called SCORE, and SCORE is a retired professionals organization, and that's how I found my mentor. So access to capital, that's something else you need to think about as you're preparing to launch your business. How much is it going to cost you to start your business? What are one-time costs and what are recurring costs? And once you figure all of that out, then you'll know if you need financing. Now, I usually tell a lot of my clients, just as you're a pre-venture and you're thinking about starting your business, write down how much you think it's going to cost, just off the top of your head. Just write it down. Then once you get that down, then go to your industry and look for industry standard costs and match them up and see what you were on point with and what you had missed. Now, one-time costs and recurring costs. One-time costs may be when you buy a piece of equipment, but remember, things don't always last. So you should always have reserves for repairs or to purchase a new one. Recurring costs is when you start receiving insurance. Your premium's going to come once a month. If you're renting a facility, that rent payment's going to be coming once a month. If you buy something, if you don't buy it cash, then you know that you're going to have to pay that mortgage payment once a month. Your taxes come annually if you have to pay them. So you need to think about all of that. And once you make that listing again, are you going to need financing? So financing, you know, there's traditional financing through banks. There's financing that you could do with friends and families. Maybe you have savings. Perhaps you want to pull money out of some property that you own, that you have equity. But don't forget credit unions. Now, I will say, if you go to friends and family to ask them to invest in your business, I would strongly suggest that you have either some type of document with the agreement of the loan, what the term is, how much you're going to pay back, and how often you're going to make payments. Or you may want to give them shares in your business. But I would suggest for family and friends, just out of respect, address them as you would do a bank. This way, it'll make Christmas and Thanksgiving dinner a lot more pleasurable because you have approached it in a business manner and everyone is on the same page and putting up their money and their time to fulfill your venture. Now, there are some other financing options also. There's asset-based lenders. There's private lenders. Now, there are also suppliers and vendors that could assist you with financing your business. Now, I share with you that I'm a former restaurant owner. So the analogy that I'm going to give you is from a restaurant's perspective. So suppliers, I approached a coffee company because of course I was selling coffee. And I agreed that I would buy all of the coffee products from them. In turn, what they gave me was a cappuccino machine, the industrial coffee maker, the insulated containers to hold the half and half and milk, all of those costs. But because I agreed to buy all of my coffee from that supplier, I was able to save money because cappuccino machines cost within the thousands. Vendors, on Sundays, I did a Sunday brunch. And on the buffet line, I did fried chicken and waffles. Well, what do you need waffle lines? I approached a vendor for the waffle mix. I agreed to buy my waffle mix from him and him only. And in turn, he gave me 3 commercial waffle machines. Like if you go to Hampton Inn or something like that, a hotel, they have the waffle irons downstairs where you can make your own waffles. Well, those waffle irons cost $400 a piece. So he gave me 3. So I'll let you do the math. That's how much money I saved, 400 times 3. Okay, then there are also angel investors, philanthropists that are looking for a good business to invest in. You can find them online. You may find one on LinkedIn. Maybe even your bank may know some people that are looking for to invest. You never know, but that's why you want to make sure you have a tight business plan in case you have to present it to an investor. And again, we're going to talk about that some more later on in the presentation. Now, crowdfunding, you see that on Facebook all the time, crowdfunding. Well, I would suggest to you, if you're planning to do crowdfunding to launch a business, make it a campaign. Develop a business Facebook page, Instagram page, say coming soon, crowdfunding opportunities coming soon. When you launch it as a campaign. And you need to give something to get something. I'm gonna give you an example. We had a client down on the Eastern Shore that had a brewery. He only sold beer and pizza and beer. That's all you got when you went there. Maybe a soft drink and a glass of water, but basically pizza and beer. Well, his beer was so good, people started asking him to ship it to them. He needed a piece of equipment in order to hold the integrity of the beer. So what did he do? He did a crowdfunding campaign. Keep that in mind, crowdfunding campaign. So what it was is he launched this campaign. He said, if you invest $500, you will get a t-shirt from the brewery. If you invest $1,000, you can eat pizza for a week and you get a t-shirt. But if you invest $1,000 more than $1,000, you got a t-shirt, you could eat pizza, and he named a beer after you. His crowdfunding campaign was a success. He was able to purchase the equipment that he needed, and therefore he was able to grow his business. So again, crowdfunding is a way to go, but really think about it. Make it a campaign, make it something interesting to people that they will want to invest in your business. Okay, now, if you have to go to a bank, that's what they're going to do. They're going to look at your 5 C's of credit. So what that is they're going to look at your character. Who are you? Do you pay your bills on time? Also, the Small Business Administration guarantees loans. Again, the Small Business Administration guarantees loans. They do not lend money. You would have to go to a bank, apply for a business loan, and if they are an approved SBA, Small Business Administration lender, they will guarantee your loan, just like if you own a home and FHA guarantees your mortgage, that's the same thing with the SBA. So unfortunately, if you are a convicted felon, the SBA will not guarantee your loan. Your capacity, what's your ability to pay it back? Your collateral, what do you have to put in the game? What do you have on hand that would help with ensuring that loan being repaid? Capital, how much money do you have on hand? What's your cash that you have on hand to put into the game? Conditions, well, we could talk about the conditions. We just got out of the pandemic. We might be going into a recession. All of those things are looked at. So your business financial management, okay, you want to gather all your information that you can. Okay, that's part of your research. You know, number two, you want to take a look at what your goals and objectives are as you get ready to launch your business. Number three, you want to analyze your financial situation. Is this a good time to make this step? Number four, developing and presenting a financial plan. That would be in your business plan. That's part of your business plan. So you want to make sure you do that. 5, implementing your plan because you're ready to go, right? You're getting ready to launch. And number 6, you want to monitor and review your financial plan because, you know, your financial plan, I mean, come on, it's like your checking account. It's living. You know, you got to make a deposit to get withdrawals. You got to take a look at it. It's always changing. You always should keep your fingers on that. So the next thing you want to do is you want to name your business because, you know, you've done your research. You're thinking about your money now. Now, what am I going to name my business? Everyone on your screen, you see that apple bitten out. You know what that is, right? It's an apple, but it's not related to eating an apple. It's computers, it's cell phones. So you want to make sure it's something memorable. You can use your name or you could use something fictitious, but you want to make sure that it's memorable. It also possibly could be what you do. You know, it could be Jennifer's Catering Company. But you want to make sure that that name is available. So this is a website at Maryland Business Express that you can go to. You can put the name that you're interested in naming your business and see if it's available. If it's available, I would strongly suggest that you lock it down. And it costs $25 to lock it down, to reserve that name for when you're ready to use it. So here we go with the business plan. Just like this chart, this is what your business plan should look like. You want to talk about what are your key assets? What makes you prepared in your experience to launch this business? Who are the other players maybe on your team that have skills and qualifications to be a partner in this business? You want to make sure you collect people's resumes that show exactly that. What's your structure? Where does the buck stop? Who is going to be managing it? Who are the owners? What is the structure of your business? Who has decision-making ability? Funding, we're going back to funding. Do you have enough money or will you be applying for a loan? You know, where are you with your funding? Branding. What is it about your business that stands out from the others? How do people feel when they find out about your business? You know, what is going to be their experience? People, who are you marketing to? Market, how are you going to be marketing it? And how are you going to manage your sales? So your business plan is a very important document. Okay, it acts as your roadmap, you know, because you're saying what your business is going to be, how you're going to manage your sales, whether or not you need financing, how are you going to market it, and how is your business going to be structured. So that makes it a very dynamic document. Okay, spend time to do it properly. And you know, it's just like your finances, your business plan is a living document. Okay, when you get ready to launch your business and you develop your business plan, it should not look the same 2 years from now, because over those past 24 months, you've been growing your business. So your business plan is alive. It should grow with your business. And you should really take a look at your business plan really every 6 months to see if you're still on the same path, or you need to alter your path. You know, your first business plan may be plan A, but by the time you open up your doors, you may be at plan F. And it's nothing wrong with that. You know, like they're saying, you need to roll with the punches. That's part of the art of being an entrepreneur. You need to look at any barriers and see how you're going to go around them. Okay, so plan, prepare, and then proceed. So you may have legal, not may, you will have legal needs for your business. Okay, if you are writing something, even your website design, you want to make sure that there's no copyright issues. Okay, your attorney may need to assist you with your taxes and your bookkeeping. Your attorney can assist you with any human resource issues, any fair use guidelines. If you have a contract, I would strongly suggest before you sign anything that you have an attorney look at it. Okay, and if you're using someone else's work to launch your business, make sure you have written permission. Okay, you may end up having business disputes that you may need legal assistance with. But the other thing too is that when you're planning your business, you may also want to talk to your attorney about the owner's estate. You know, it was really sad that there is a hot sauce that a gentleman produced in Prince George's County. And at one time for the SBDC, I oversaw a farmer's market, and he used to sell it at the farmer's market. And then I was in Giant one day and I saw it on the shelf. I was like, wow, that's a guy that used to come to the farmer's market. Good for him. Next thing I saw, he died. He was only like 35 years old. The business, the items are still on the shelf at Giant, but the unthinkable happened to that gentleman. And I just hope he had his affairs in order, because he did have a family. So again, as you grow your business, you make that big break, make sure that that's also a part of your handling your business. I would suggest. Now we're going to choose our entity, and that is very important. How are we going to register our business with the state of Maryland? So there are some things that we should think about as we choose the entity and what we should consider. What level of legal liability would you like to personally have versus the entity? Being if you're an S Corp or LLC or sole proprietor, how much do you want to protect yourself? What is the size of your business? That could also impact how you should register your business. What kind of tax liability would you prefer personally versus the entity? Are there any tax write-offs that you could benefit from? What is the citizenship status of the owners? That could have an impact. What kind of powers do you want owners, partners, or shareholders to have? And what if you have investors? What are the preferences? So these are the things you need to think about as you're deciding how you want to register your business. So you might want to register as a sole proprietor. A sole proprietorship is a business entity in which a single person owns all assets of the business, owns all liabilities for the business, operates the business in their own personal capacity, meaning you're using your own social security number. So I put this picture of this little girl with the lemonade stand because she's a sole proprietor. You know, she's doing business as the kids' lemonade stand. Anyone that gets sick from her lemonade, they're going to come against her personally because she's a sole proprietor. So generally, you want to avoid this designation due to the personal, legal, and tax liability that's involved. But that's something you should talk to your attorney or CPA can advise you. Okay, Then maybe you might want to have a partnership. Maybe it's a married couple, or intimate couple going into business together. Maybe it's your friends that, you know, the two of you been working on cars together since you were kids, and you want to turn this into a formal business. Okay, so general partnerships are conceptually like a sole proprietorship, but with multiple partners. Okay, now if you, and we'll talk about this in the next slide, the limited liability partnerships, these are typically hybrid entities that blend a few of the protections of the corporate entity. They have the same structure as a general partnership, but the partners do not have personal legal liability. This is why you need an attorney, okay? General partnerships want to be avoided because of personal, legal, and tax liabilities, but a CPA and an attorney will help you guide through this. So, limited liability companies, okay? A limited liability company, a LLC, is a registered business entity and may fall into the following categories. Member managed LLC. Members of the LLC have the power to manage the LLC by voting power and/or share ownership. Remember, I talked to you about if family investing or friends invest in your business, consider selling them shares. Manager managed LLC. The LLC designates a person to manage the LLC. That's how I manage my business, because my family, they bought shares, but I was clearly the manager. The person does not have to be a member of the LLC to manage it. That would be contractual. So again, this is the most common incorporated entity in the state of Maryland, LLCs. So corporations. A corporation is an incorporated business entity that also affords liability protections in Maryland. Generally, shareholders do not own personal legal liability for a corporation's debt. Okay, corporations are generally taxed as follows. By default, corporations are C Corps, which are taxed as separate entities with tax losses, deductions, and credits. Corporations can elect to be a S Corp, which have pass-through tax liabilities like a LLC. Good options if you want corporate protections, but want pass-through liabilities. I am not an attorney, so I will not tell you the way you should register your business with the state of Maryland. I will refer you to an attorney, but you know, starting your business, you may not have money to pay for an attorney, but there are free pro bono services that are available. You know, driving down the streets, a lot of times I see now local libraries have attorneys that'll come and will meet with you for free for 30 minutes. There are law school clinics. University of Maryland has a law school clinic. American University has a law school clinic. Take advantage of those free services. Those students can really assist you with answering some of these basic questions. But again, your CPA, whoever's doing your taxes for you, they may be able to answer these questions for you as well. So, sharing the information with you about determining your legal entity, I'm sure you see now that there are times that you do need an attorney to make sure that you're proceeding in the right direction. So you're ready now, you've decided, you've done your research, you found out how much money you're going to need, you've decided how you're going to register your business with the state of Maryland. So you're going to go online to Maryland Business Express. And when you get to this website, and here's the address, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see this link on how to plan your business, how to start your business, how to manage your business, and how to grow your business. So when you're prepared to register your business, you click on start your business. And this website will walk you through how to register your business with the state of Maryland. There is a cost involved. It depends how fast you want to get your paperwork. To register your business, it may be slightly over $100, but if you want to expedite your paperwork and get everything to you fast, it would be a fee of $300. So I have this, if any of you are jazz enthusiasts, Marcus Johnson is a Maryland resident, and he is renowned worldwide as a composer and a performer, but he diversified. He started a corporate umbrella and he diversified. He started making wine. And then he said, well, I'm gonna take it another step. Then he did a book to talk to you about the wine and what kind of food you should pair with it. So what he did is he diversified his business. Okay, first he's a performer, took his name and lent it to his wine product. Then he took it another step and wrote a book. So it's possible that you can have a corporate umbrella for whatever your business is. You can always expand. So these are things that can stall your business. Lack of planning and control. Talk to you about planning, doing your research, making sure that you have the right people on your team. Shortage of paying customers. Maybe you're not marketing correctly. You need to get those customers in to pay for your service for you to be able to grow and sustain your business and yourself. So if you're having a shortage of paying customers, take a look at your marketing, taking a look at your brand, take a look at the way that you're servicing your customers. Maybe you might want to do a customer satisfaction survey at the end of providing that service. So keep in mind, like I said, your business plan is a living document. You always may need to go back to it and maybe pivot and go in another direction. No cash. You've exhausted all of your operating capital. That can stall your business. So that's why it's very important to budget and plan. Trying to do it all on your own. If you find that you're not an expert on a certain subject, reach out to the expert. Reach out to your mentor. Reach out to an attorney. Reach out to your CPA. Reach out to someone that is specialized in your industry. Not knowing or ignoring your customers. Again, pay attention. Make sure that you are providing them with good service. Well, that's coming to the end of my presentation. We at the Maryland Small Business Development Center in the Baltimore region, we're there to assist you to grow and sustain your business. I have listed here myself and all of our business consultants. But we also, on May the 10th, we're having a workshop called Access to Capital for Women. It is another virtual event from 4 p.m. to 6, and it'll tell you how to identify funds, how to build your business credit, how to make financial statements, and also how to package your loan. You know, May is the month of Mother's Day, so we're offering services for women throughout the month of May. And we are also having a women's conference, a new day, a new era, starting new, moving beyond the pandemic. We have a lineup of wonderful speakers from everything from motivation, from the bank, also mind, body, and soul, business opportunities for women in the state of Maryland. It will be a great event. We've partnered with Coppin State University, the Mayor's Office of Baltimore, the Community College of Baltimore County, and Stevenson University. So I don't know if there are any questions. I'm happy to answer them. I still have 20 minutes available to you. Would you like to come off of mute or either put your question in the chat box?
Hello, Ms. Fun. This is Dr. Perry. I am one of the academic coordinators in the Business and Entrepreneurship Department. And we're so happy that you agreed to make this presentation. Many of the students in this workshop are actually putting together their business plan as a part of the Southern Management Leadership Program. So I would definitely hope that some of the students have questions, because Ms. Fun has definitely given us some great information to complement your current efforts in putting your business plans together. So please ask your questions at this time.
Hi, I'm not a business major, but I was just wondering, when you started your own business, what was the hardest part of getting it started, I guess, or keeping it going and not like just saying, oh no, I just don't want to do this anymore?
Sure. Well, I put a lot of heart and soul in my business, so it wasn't the point that I didn't want to do it anymore. I remember the day I determined I was going to close my business, I was having a meeting with my CPA, and she looked at me because I laid down on the floor, and she was like, Jennifer, I was like, I had to get myself together for a minute. Let me stand up. So, but to get it started, I'm going to tell you, as a minority in business, and I have another presentation about the challenges of women-owned businesses, to get these men that I was, and it was male dominated in my industry, to take me seriously, that I could do the job, that I had the money, that I had the talent, that I had the tenacity, and that I wasn't going to put up with too much. So that was my biggest challenge. And my first business venture was a coffee bar with two of my college roommates. And I remember us looking at each other when we went to a meeting, and this man just blew us off in the Department of Economic Development for the county we were opening our business in. And we looked at each other, we're like, we're professional women, we have money to launch our business. Why is this man offering us a kiosk in a mall? So as you move forward, you have to stay focused. Do not let people get your goat. Don't let them intimidate you, stay focused on your goal. And as my grandmother used to say, if you keep sowing, you're going to make something.
So one of the things that students are having a challenge with is the issue of pricing for items that's in their budget for their maiden business plan. Any idea as to how students could fairly price their goods and services, their personnel, equipment, supplies, etc.? Any
Sure.
suggestions?
One, again, contact the Maryland SBDC. We can do the research for you. Remember, I told you we have a clearinghouse that we can give you a sample financial projections. Also, check with your industry. A lot of industries have organizations because they know that there's strength in numbers. I'll tell you guys, at one time I was thinking about opening a laundromat. Would you believe that there's a laundromat association? I emailed them, I asked them questions, and they got right back to me. Their magazines, their, like I said, organizations, clearinghouses, the Census Bureau, your mentor, all of the above.
Very good. The next area is marketing with no budget. What's the best way to market?
Well, I'm going to tell you guys, there's so many avenues available to you now to market that cost you nothing. When I was in business, I had to pay for a newspaper ad. That's antiquated now. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it on, you guys know, all of the social media that's out there, work it, just like, I have children, adult children, but I'm like, could you please put your phone down so I can talk to you? There are so many things available to you now. So I would say, when you're doing your marketing plan, think about it virtually. Virtually doesn't cost you anything. Google and Facebook have programs for small businesses. Utilize them. On Facebook, I'm a member of a lot of small business Latino-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses, women-owned businesses. So whenever I have workshops, I go to my personal Facebook page and post it on there. So, use those avenues, network, network, network. Now, after the pandemic, networking isn't necessarily face-to-face, it's virtual. Use that to your benefit.
So we have a hand up. Jill, go ahead and ask your question.
Hello.
Hi.
You mentioned earlier that you opened your first business as a coffee shop. What inspired you to open that business, and where is it located at?
Okay, when I opened my business, the first business was a coffee shop. And don't tell Starbucks, but I went and got a part-time job at Starbucks while I was having my coffee bar built out, because I figured the best way for me to learn the business was from the best. I didn't tell them that 5 miles away from the Starbucks that there were construction men building out my coffee bar, but I was there at work every weekend to learn that business. I opened it, my coffee bar was located in Annapolis, right next door to the State of Maryland Finance Building. So those are primarily my customers. It was open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. But I tell you, I closed the coffee bar because I'm also a trained chef. And I noticed that all of my business was going out the door. And when I say out the door, the State House was my primary customer. So I was catering to all of our elected officials. So I had to say, why am I managing this coffee bar when I'm not really selling coffee, when I'm really selling, crab meat fondue, So that's when I moved from the coffee bar to the restaurant. But I closed my restaurant in 2007 during the last recession, when people were losing their houses and gas was $5 a gallon. Nobody was coming into my restaurant to get a $100 check for eating crab cakes. So that's why I say, again, it's so important to have a mentor, because my mentor said to me, and I'm not a youngster, so this is telling you how old he was, because he called me kid. He said, kid, the day you stop making money is the day you close your doors. And the day I stopped making money the way I needed to, I closed my doors. I was able to sustain my financial integrity. And I always say, keep my shirt on my back. So that was successful. Don't feel that if you close your business, it's a failure. It doesn't have to be. Really, the way I see it now, my restaurant was a stepping stone, because if I hadn't had that experience, I wouldn't be here with you guys today.
Very good. We also have a question from Ms. Jacqueline Green. Jacqueline?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my question is, you spoke earlier about the LLCs. Can you lose an LLC if you go and work with somebody else who already has one, or can you combine the two, or how does that work?
Okay.
Or can that work?
Okay, you don't combine LLCs because they're separate legal entities, okay? As far as you losing your LLC, when you register with the state of Maryland, you have, Governor Hogan just waived the fee. There had always been like a $300 fee that you would have to pay every year to keep your LLC or your C Corp in good standing. Okay, so you have to file taxes every year on your business. As long as you're filing your taxes every year in your business, you will not lose your LLC. But you don't lose your LLC for partnering with another business, and two businesses can come together for a partnership, but they are two separate legal entities.
Very good. Are there any other questions? This is a rich topic. Okay, all right, Dada, Mr. Dada.
Yes, thank you. Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. I've already registered my business, but yet to commence business. So am I going to lose it if I did not file a tax for 2022 or 21? I registered it last year, but I did not. It's yet to commence operation.
Go ahead and contact whoever does your taxes and get them to file your taxes. It's okay that you didn't make any money, you know, but you need to let the state know that you still are operating that business. You know, you may have ended up having some tax credits there for you for not making money. So if you still were trying to, you know, sustain and work your business. So yeah, talk to whoever does your taxes, give them a call today and ask them to address that for you.
This is top shelf information. It really is. Any other questions? Ashante? Any questions? Isaac? Someone is asking a question, but it's not coming through clearly.
You can always put your question in the chat box if we
Yeah,
can't hear
put your
you
question in
clearly.
the chat, yeah. That last,
Okay.
yeah, that last questioner, please put your question in the chat box. Any other questions? We have about 9 minutes remaining. Sonia? Namdi? Isaac? Christina? Shadira? Adam King? Ashley? That's the teacher in me.
Okay, that's fine. I hear you calling roll.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. I have a follow-up question, but first of all, I want to thank you for sharing your experience when you opened up your first business. How did you started for your coffee shop business though? Was it a sole proprietorship or general partnership?
No, it was a C Corp. One of my partners was an attorney, so she handled the legal aspect of it. So my first business, the coffee shop, was a C Corp between myself and my two former college roommates. When I exhausted that business, I opened up the restaurant, and the restaurant was a LLC that I owned solely. Even though my husband came every weekend, gave people cigars if they would come back the next weekend, but it was my business. I always thanked him for that. He would bartend and say, "Here's a cigar. I'll give it to you if you come back and bring a friend." And it really worked. That was marketing on a 101 level.
All right. So I would like to ask as a final question, many of the students in my small business management class are part of the Southern Management Leadership Program. And many of them are either just out of high school or just turned 21. So how realistic of a business plan can we expect from someone of that age category?
Oh, well, I think it could be very much outstanding. I mean, the beautiful thing about people that are within that age group, you guys never knew what it wasn't like not to have email, not to not have ATMs and technology, not to have apps. So, you know, people that play games and can come up with a algorithm, I would say it could be the world, really. I don't think that age is a barrier. If you have a talent or a skill, take a look at it, move forward with it. I'll say it one more time, get a mentor, contact somebody at the SBDC, and let us help you. The University of Maryland College Park has an innovation program. You guys are currently now at the community college, okay? Once you complete the community college, you can go into University of Maryland, take advantage of the Innovation Center, or even Coppin State University. All of these things are here in your backyard here in the state of Maryland to help you grow, launch and sustain your business. I'm sure that if your heart and you're passionate in it, it can be a success. And again, I am a former business owner. I worked my business till my hands, I was a cook, so my hands used to bleed being in that kitchen all of the time. But I will tell you, I never thought that it was my entrepreneurial path. And again, being an entrepreneur is not a destination, it's a journey. So you need to roll with the punches, you need to learn from the peaks and valleys, and you need to realize that there's always a tomorrow, and what you experience today is preparing you for the next day. So I think I just want to wish everyone much success. And we're here at the SBDC. It doesn't cost you anything. Some of my clients I've had literally for like 6 or 7 years. They've launched their business, but every time they want to hear that voice to say, it's going to be okay, they give me a call. So we're here to help you.
Well, I'm feeling you because I ran a small business for 25 years.
Okay.
And at some point, you're right, I got to a point where I needed to do something different. I had successfully operated those 2 businesses. I reached my PETA principle, and faced reality, and opted to come back into education. We do have one remaining question.
Okay.
The young lady who was trying to ask it verbally, it's in the
Okay.
chat area.
Okay,
And-
I can read
and
it.
So,
It says,
okay, good.
okay, so my business plan is in the baking industry. And I was wondering, when it comes to pricing, should I base it on how much the ingredients cost, or the average average it out based on how okay, what you should do, I can tell you, cut to the chase. Whatever your ingredients are, whatever it costs you to make it, and include your labor costs, you should charge 3 times. That's how restaurants basically come up with the pricing. Whatever the ingredients cost, they multiply it by 3. And then they may kick it up a notch. So right now with eggs being so expensive, sugar and flour with everything. Also, if you're going to be making deliveries, think about the gas prices as well. So that is the way you can determine what your pricing is. I have another question. Does a photograph, oh, wait a minute. Okay, you're welcome. All right, let me see. There's another question. It says, does a photography business fall under LLC? Yes, it can. And if it's your passion, that's even better. That you're considering exploring the business route of a photographer, I will look into finding a mentor through SCORE. Yes, go to SCORE. But yeah, as a matter of fact, those pictures that you saw of me and my staff and myself, we hired one of my clients to take those pictures. So yes, there's a business in photography, especially with websites. Everyone needs pictures for their websites. So this is a good time for you to be in that business.
And we have Miss Christina Guzman, who has a question. Christina?
Hi,
She has-
Professor.
You go ahead. Mhm.
Yeah, so how often is it safe to raise prices and not lose customers if you raise prices, due to inflation and all the factors that can affect the price?
Okay, well, you just answered your own question. Take a look at the dollar store. Isn't going to be having dollar sales anymore. The dollar store is raising their prices to $1.25 because of all of those things that you said. But let me tell you, Ms. Guzman, if you have a good product, if you have a good service, and you're not raising your prices to be ridiculous, I really think if you have a good repeat customer base, they will support you. Because you know why? Because they want your product. We're all creatures of habit. So if it works for them, they're going to still want it. So if you don't go like raise it $30, you'll be good. But if you raise it $5 or $10, that won't impact you. Especially everybody knows what's going on right now.
Well, I can tell you that you are a great presenter. And we thank you so much for pouring into us, as a college community. And we have also had great participants who listened with eagerness and receptivity, and they had questions for you. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
So
Well,
thank
thank
you,
you all so
everyone.
much.
Yes, any final words, Ms. Fun, before we leave?
Well, I'll just tell you that the hardest thing in business is personnel. You know, in my restaurant, I have 15 employees, and I'll just tell you this story. Hopefully it'll make you laugh real quick. I only had one person work the lunch crowd. And I know, and my bar manager, I had a bar manager came to me and she said, Jennifer, we're buying more Hennessy than we're selling. So investigation showed that when that man got off work, he was sloshed, and he wasn't drinking like the stuff. He was drinking the high-end stuff. So I terminated him, and a few days later, I was walking my dog, and there was this man standing there, and he said, "Are you Jennifer Fun?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You've been served." The guy sued me. He sued me for unpaid. He said I owed him money. Now, I had a CPA. Believe me, I walk the talk. I'm not just telling you all this stuff. This is how I live. I had my bookkeeper came in every Monday. She ran the payroll. They had to log in. I mean, everything was up and down. Well, okay, no problem. I called my attorney. Remember, I told you need legal services.
Yes.
Call my attorney. She said, you got to respond to the summons. Go ahead and respond. Okay, did that. About a week, 2 weeks later, I come in the restaurant and all of my staff is gathered around one table, like whispering. So, you know, I come in, I'm happy with my pocketbook and I say, hey, everybody, what's going on? They said, Jennifer, Mike is dead. I was like, what? That was the guy that sued me. I was like, what? They said they found his body. No joke. They found his body. I was like, oh my God. Look, I'm clutching my pearls, ladies. I was like, oh my God. So they said, but we got something else to tell you. I said, what? They said, you're the #1 suspect.
Oh, what?
And then everybody busted out laughing that he really was found, but I was not the suspect.
Oh.
So in that story, I tell you, what did I have in place? I have my attorney available to me to call. My CPA came in every Monday, ran payroll. So he was just harassing me. I paid him what he was due. And my staff had a good sense of humor and they got me that day. So again, make sure as you move on with your business, you protect your liability, you respect people's expertise, get your lawyer, get your CPA and your insurance person lined up, and you will be successful.
And my last question that was generated by that one, how many years or how many times did you say pay others, but you didn't have the resources to pay yourself?
Oh, you know what? It was a lot, but I'm gonna tell you what I did, and I'll tell you this too, you guys. I put myself on payroll, so I didn't cash my check, but I paid my taxes. I paid my FICA taxes, so I contributed to my Social Security. But I will, since you brought that up, Mr. Perry, my daughters and my sister-in-law didn't appreciate it because whenever payroll was tight, I didn't pay them either. But I paid their taxes, but they couldn't cash their check. But that's the benefit of having your children and your sister-in-law working for you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We have spent this time well, and we believe that Kathy Yorkshire referred you. Is that right?
Yes, I presented at her class many times, and
Oh,
I will
yes.
be happy to do the same for you.
Well, thank you so much.
Mhm.
All right, everyone, we have done well today. So let's all give a shout out to Ms. Fun and they'll put it in the chat area, for pouring into us today. And Ms. Fun, I look forward to engaging you in the future.
Yes, I look forward to it too. Thank
All
you
right.
all, and I wish everyone the best of luck. Have a pleasant evening.
All right. Bye,
right.
everyone.
Bye-bye.